our brand new planner that lets you sync your Google, Apple, and Outlook events directly to the planner. So today I'm going to walk you through that. On the right here, you can see that we have the site where you actually download and configure your planner and customize it with your events. Go to einkplanners.com. And then up here, you can see the information about the planner. You can go ahead and drag. You can see the different features that are offered inside of the planner. And once you begin, you can go ahead and create your planner. So at the beginning, what it does is you can actually select the device that you want to create this calendar for. You can actually select the calendar year. You can have any calendar year you want here, but let's go ahead and stick to 2025. If you want the calendar to actually start on Sunday, you can go ahead and select it here, or Monday, depending on the country that you're in. We're going to keep it at Sunday. You can also select the language that you want the planner to be translated in: French, German, Italian, Japanese, Spanish, and of course English. Let's keep it there. Also right here, you can actually select whether you want this planner to be configured with left hand or right hand. Left hand or right hand. Left hand meaning that on the left side of on the right side of your tablet, it will hold the space for the actual menu and features on the actual tablet. If you select right, it'll have a space on the left hand side for those that are used to using that are right hand like myself and want to have the space on the right that's set up for when you want to actually annotate so nothing gets overlapped. So let's go ahead and select it right hand. Also, our planner works both universal for left and right, so you won't really need to worry about this setting. But let's go on to the next one. This section, what you can do is actually change the headers for the different task sections of the planner. Right now it says top 5, but if I wanted to put in here, let's say today's goals, I could do that. And then this would actually carry on throughout the planner on every day view within the planner. So let's go ahead and leave it like that. And now let's go on to style the actual calendar. So if we go here, the next screen, you can actually set the font size of the fonts throughout the entire planner. If you're like myself and you can't really see small font anymore, you can go ahead and drag this over to the end, but let's keep it at standard here. Also, another thing you can do is change the theme of the actual planner from grayscale to color. Grayscale is best when you're inside of a reMarkable tablet. Maybe you have a reMarkable 2 or a reMarkable 1, which does not support color. We all know reMarkable Pro does not do the best with colors. So my preference is actually to set it as grayscale. I think it looks the best. I think it's more readable. And my events that show up, actually, I can see it very well on small fonts if I were to set it that way. So another setting is actually setting whether or not you want to see the time blocks, okay? So right now you don't see them, but if I turn it on the right here, you can see that they are mapped to the events that actually are synced to your calendar, to your planner, okay? This is obvious. You want to have this on if you plan on adding syncing a calendar to your planner. That way, when your events come in here, they line up to the appropriate time slot. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. The final, before you actually configure or download your planner, the last step is actually syncing your calendar to your planner. We have a slew of calendars you can select from. Let's go ahead. You can see UK holidays, US holidays, and more. So I'm going to go ahead and select US holidays because that's where I'm from. And then be sure to look at this setting here, the time zone. So if you're traveling, let's say I'm traveling to New York City, right? I want to make sure that my events are mapped correctly, because maybe I'm making a particular calendar for New York when I'm out of town, so that when I'm out at the coffee shops, I know what's going on in that particular time zone. Okay. So another thing you can do, and this is what the primary purpose of this video is, syncing Outlook events to your planner. Okay. So this right here, this ICS, you see the ICS extension of this URL? That is basically the calendar feed that you can actually pull into your planner. You can have up to 5, or actually we don't limit it anymore. We used to limit up to 5. Now we limit it to the amount of events that actually come in. So you can link up to as many as you want calendars, as long as you don't exceed the limit. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to actually pull in an Outlook calendar here. Right now, you can see that I have the U.S. holidays, but let's add another one. So right now I have my Outlook 360 website open. Okay, so you see I have this calendar here. I just named it calendar. If I click this and go to sharing and permissions, what you can do, see I have these two. I have this one email address or person that I shared this calendar to. I shared it to myself. What it will do is send you an email, whatever email address you want, okay? So I put the one that, I have access to, sales@inkpad. So I did that. And then when the email comes to you, this is how you set it up. So when you get the email, you're going to get an email like this, and you're going to see this little link right here, this URL. Okay, you click on that and copy it, the actual URL. That's what you're going to use to actually paste in here, okay? You're going to paste it in here, right there, of the link. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Actually, I can't do that because it's a screenshot, but if you go back in here and paste that in here, it will show all of the events for your calendar, actually for the year that you're actually setting this up for. Okay, so once I do that, and then I say get your planner, it's actually going to finalize the stages. You pay for it, $19.99, and then it will start the download process. Okay, once you do that, it's going to show up here, and you're just going to click the download button. But you can also do it after. Let's say I downloaded something, and on a different computer or my phone. I actually purchased this on my phone. I can go back to this on my computer, where I'm going to actually download it from, and click this little button up here. So if I click this right here, what it does is now you can go to your orders. You put your email address, okay? Make sure it's correct when you make your purchase. You put your email address in here, and then once you do that, it's going to send you a code to your email address. You put that code in here, and then you hit download next to your planner. It's going to show up all of the actual calendars that you purchased, and it's going to allow you to download them. Okay, so let's see if I have one in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this email address here, and I'm going to hit request. All right, it's going to ask me, this is what I'm talking about. It's going to ask you for the code. Once you put the code in there, it's going to show the actual orders. Okay, all right, that's pretty much it. This is how you link your Outlook calendars to your planner. This is a revolutionary product that we're just starting, and we've got a whole bunch of people using this, and we're excited about it. Feel free to add comments below if you get stuck on any part of this. I'm watching this daily, so if you have a question, just make sure you explain it, and then I'll get back to you. Otherwise, happy planning. Thanks for using our product.